Welcome to another review for All That Film. Today we're going to be talking the much anticipated film from Martin Scorsese, The Irishman. We're joined by me, your host, Tay, and Blake.
Hey, guys.
As well as Eve.
Hello.
What do you want to know? You want to know if I did it or not?
Okay, so just general thoughts starting out. We're probably going to do a little bit of a spoiler discussion for this. It's a very lengthy film, so there's definitely a lot to unpack here. But Blake, just off the bat, general thoughts. How did you feel about this film?
This is my favorite movie of the year, and I don't know. There are only a couple in my head that could possibly take that spot. I loved it from the first frame until the last frame, and yeah, that's all I'll say for now.
Nice. And Eve, what would be your general thoughts on this?
I'm gonna side with Blake here and say it is also my favorite movie of the year, and I went into it very excited, and it just exceeded all of my expectations and tenfold. So yeah, that's what I'll say for now.
As for myself on general thoughts, I really enjoyed this, but the problem is I don't know how to like properly explain this. I was talking to my friends a while about this, and they haven't seen The Irishman, and they're like, "Oh, well, like how much did you enjoy it?" Because I enjoy this a lot. I definitely side with both of you, and especially what Blake was getting to in that. As soon as I think about like 15 minutes in, it may even be shorter than that. I was like, "Oh no, I'm hooked like forever for whatever this film is going to do." And I think it would be ill remiss of people, I don't want to dictate how people watch things, but I think this is a film that you can enjoy a lot if you have watched many of Scorsese's films, many of De Niro's films, many of Joe Pesci and Al Pacino. It's a film that means a lot for their careers, and I think it's very telling in this film what things each of them are trying to say. I feel like there's just a lot of like subtext behind a lot of the acting and directing that's going on that is just hard for me to ignore, like the masterfulness that Scorsese's putting in here. As for like where I would put this, I haven't put it in my 2019 list yet because we haven't done this review. I haven't rated it because I was waiting to do a review. So it's going to be interesting to talk about it more. I've seen it twice. I don't know. I think my hosts are both at one, correct?
No, I've seen it twice.
Oh, nice.
And I just kind of skimmed through it the other day to look at my favorite scenes again.
Oh, gotcha. So we're all at twice. Let's go. But yeah, no, it's a film that I want to rewatch over and over and over again. I don't know. There's just something so inherently like watchable and like it demands your attention. And it's so fun in a weird, sort of twisted way almost. But I'm trying to think of other what was like y'all's favorite aspect, I guess, Blake, like either you could say a performance in particular, the editing, just anything at all.
I loved how mature it was, like all of his other gangster movies, even if they have the false, like Rise Fall, they always have a false section, but it's always it's never really realistic. It's always from the main character's like self-centered point of view, and this one we had characters that tried to force the main characters to like see their consequences. So I really liked how mature it was in that way. So I like the most depressing parts of it, I guess.
Nice. No, I definitely can side with a lot of that. Eve, what was one of your favorite aspects of it?
I'm gonna say a performance that stood out to me. Al Pacino. I think he just like took the whole show. I was expecting to be like, oh, Robert De Niro, but when I saw it, I just couldn't keep my eyes off him.
Nice. Yeah. No, I'm Team De Niro on this one, but no, Pacino gives a terrific performance. I think the biggest thing for me is the storytelling in this film that I sort of was like blown away from, just because of how intriguing Scorsese handles this film, how he approaches it, because you have a bunch of different layers that he's going to in the story, and I think as it progresses, it just gets wiser and wiser almost, and again, like it gets the audience prepared for what's to come. by slowly giving you more pieces of information to understand the ongoing events in a really organic way. But I guess we'll move to Oscar predictions. This is going to be a difficult one, not because it doesn't have that many things we can bring up, because it's going to have so many things that we're going to bring up. So what do you guys stand on these Oscar chances for it to have The Irishman?
I think it will win Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Adapted Screenplay, and
Do you
probably
think
a
it's going to
couple others.
sweep?
Yeah, probably.
Not even I don't know if I'd go that far, but yeah, I could see that. I could see a world where that happens. Man, that's ambitious though.
The only one I can't see, Robert De Niro might lose, but that's like honestly
De
the
Niro
only one
might
I can't
lose.
see.
Yeah. I think De Niro actually might, just with the way people are talking about it, I could be completely wrong, and it might be like fake buzz that's starting right now. But just with the way people are talking about Adam Driver and Marriage Story, I would be worried about him. I'm trying to think of the other actors that would stand a chance in his way. Oh man, but yeah, no, I think he makes it in there. I think here's what I'm worried about, or not too worried, I guess, but. Do you think Pesci and Pacino can both be nominated?
For sure.
I know a lot of people have brought that up, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think the field is a little bit heavy this year in the supporting actor category.
Yeah, it seems like that, but then I tried to figure out who would be in there, and I could barely think of 5.
You have Brad Pitt. You have theoretically you have Pacino. You have Song Kang-ho if the Academy is cool, which would be awesome.
Yeah, but I don't see that.
You don't see that happening? Well, you have if I need to check and see if these were listed as supporting, but you have Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. If he was, I need to check. Anthony Hopkins has been getting a little bit of praise early on for The Two Popes. Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, just looking through it. Yeah, you just named the last one that I was going to bring up. I know a couple of people have brought up Timmy and Little Women, but I don't see that necessarily happening.
I doubt he's going to be in it very much. Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. So I guess no, you could be right. It could be leaning towards both getting in with the way things are going. But as for lead actor, it's just a decently. I mean, we've talked about this a bunch, but it's just a decently stacked category this year. You have Leo, Adam Driver, Joaquin Phoenix, probably, and then you're looking at a Christian Bale or a Antonio Banderas or Taron Egerton getting in there. So, but I think De Niro is one of the locks for Best Actor, especially because he's been taking a lot of time off to do this project.
And for director, the only one I could see beating him is Sam Mendes, because they just like technical winners so much. Like Inarritu won 2 times for doing the same or similar techniques, like the tracking shots the whole time. So
yeah,
I could see.
I'm actually okay. So I'm a little worried about this one because I think I could be wrong. But people have also been talking about Baumbach, like he is like the prime front runner. And Bong Joon-ho, we should probably talk about. It would be cool, but as we've been mentioning, with the way the Academy is, I don't know how that's going to shake out. I hope for the best that he gets a nominee, is a heavy front runner. But yeah, no, you're right. So I could be wrong about this too, but I think we've actually already set in place the 5 for the Academy. I don't know if you'd agree with this.
I think so too.
But I think it's going to be Baumbach, Bong Joon-ho, Mendes, Scorsese, and Tarantino.
I was going to say Gerwig instead of Tarantino.
Maybe. I just feel like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's so Hollywood that they'll eat it up. Maybe
but-
Blake's favorite person, Clint, could slip in there with
Uh,
our Jewel.
well, yeah, he could honestly. I know it's a joke, but PWH could honestly get into supporting. I mean,
Ooh, that's true. If people like it enough. But yeah, no, this just reading that, it hurts a little bit because I wanted, some people that were outside looking in to get into the best directing category. Like I wanted Lulu Wang to get some credit for her film, but I don't know if The Farewell is going to get huge attention. But as for, you think it wins Best Picture?
what do you think would beat it? Marriage Story?
I think Marriage Story has a chance just with how people are talking about it.
But
Uh,
is that Twitter or is that the world?
No. See, that's the thing. Twitter hasn't caught on to, or it's because it's not out on Netflix. It will be interesting to see how like film Twitter in quotes responds to Marriage Story, because I think they were loving The Irishman,
Yeah.
and that's one of the cool things about like a release on Netflix. As much as like I'm pro, oh hey, release it in a theater, have people like have that option. It's really cool because people can instantly like talk about every scene. They can post specific scenes they love, and I'm always a big fan of that. But right now, oh boy, I think not, okay, I could be completely wrong because I haven't seen it yet. So I could see it and be like, oh, never mind, I was incorrect. But I think 1917 actually has a decent chance of winning Best Picture,
Mm,
and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I, again, could be wrong.
Eve, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Irishman has the lock just because it's such a retrospective movie for Scorsese, and it's one of his last, and it feels like this big like catharsis, and all the actors. I mean, it's De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino. Like it seems like a very Oscar-y Best Picture win kind of movie, and also I love it though.
I definitely see that. I'm just worried about it winning Best Picture because Silence wasn't even brought up. And I feel like it wasn't even in the discussion. And that's a film that I love. And maybe it just comes down to not enough Academy members actually watched it. And this is going to garner a bunch of more eyes to see because, like, the three actors Eve is mentioning, and it's Scorsese's like send off, the proper send off to all his gangster films. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to monitor. Do you guys have any other awards things you want to go to before we hit scores?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think maybe cinematography because it looked really good, but I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I don't know. They tend to lean for like the big cinematic spectacles for cinematography. That's the only reason
1917 is definitely winning that one.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
I think 1917 is going to win at least 3 of cinematography, the 2 sounds, editing. Yeah, that'll be fun to see, and of course, Endgame taking all the technical awards.
What about visual effects?
Oh, see, I would give it for visual. Is visual effects a category for the Oscars?
Yeah, remember First Man won it last year.
Yeah, no, it is. Oh, yeah, no, I think it has a really good chance. The only thing I worry about that is that's what the Oscars sort of think as they're like, oh, hey, this is our blockbuster category. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm looking at it right now, and the ones they listed as contenders for IndieWire were Alita, Avengers Endgame, Gemini Man, Lion King, and The Irishman. Which would be wild if that was the 5.
Only like 2 of those are going to get nominated.
I think Lion King actually does have a chance.
But not,
yeah, no, it could.
Not Alita or Gemini Man. Oh my gosh.
No, neither of those are going to get nominated. But yeah, no, that's about all. I'm glad you brought that up real quick because the visual effects are really, really good here. Like next level, I would say, in terms of that technology. But we're going to wrap it up and hit scores.
A friend of ours is having a little trouble. Friend at the top. Thanks.
Blake, you're going to go first. What would you give this film out of 10?
A 10 out of 10.
Nice. Nothing else to say. Just the perfect score from the film bro himself. Eve, what would you give this film?
I'm also going to give it a 10 out of 10, period. That's it.
All right. And then the difficult part of actually scoring this. If I could, if this were just semantics and I was allowed to do whatever, which I guess I could, then I would probably give this like a movie out of 10. I know that sounds weird, and don't think that as the meaning in any way, but I just watch it and I'm like, yes, this is what a movie should be. Like, this is what films should aim to be, and it's displayed like perfect. And I'm not sure where I'd put this. So I'm gonna leave a TBD out of 10 for The Irishman, and get back to that at the end of the year. I think, Blake's been talking about this. I think this is a heavy contender for the All That Film Best Film of the Year. There's a lot of great ones that we've already talked about, like I know a lot of people love The Lighthouse, The Farewell, Parasite, and I think this is now in the mix. I don't know if it's a front runner, just with how much some people love Parasite. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to the discourse that a lot of people have with this film. So thank you guys for listening to our review. We're going to be doing a spoiler discussion for this film, just talking freely for the people that have seen The Irishman, or if you just want to hear us spoil the mess out of it, which why would you? But, do whatever you want. That's going to do it for this review. Make sure to check out our other reviews. We'll be posting frequently because we got reviews for the report. Lost My Body, Klaus. If you want to check out older stuff like Parasite, Jojo Rabbit, all that good stuff, we have it posted in a playlist that'll be linked at the end of the video. Thank you guys. Bye.